Hello, it's me. As you've probably noticed by now, I dye my hair. And right now it's really faded from last time. I'm trying a new dye tomorrow actually, which is why I'm making this video. And this is basically how you convince your parents to let you dye your hair. My parents hate that I dye my hair. They do not like it. They do not want me doing it. And my mother, I was a blonde for a short time, and I think it's mostly the dark that they don't like it. But my father has openly said if I dye my hair like a brown, if it's like a dark black, I like the blonde better. He's openly said that. He will never admit that he said that. Like, he'll never, like, if I bring it up in front of him, he'll never admit it, but he said that. Anyways, this is basically, okay, I'm going to tell you what I suggest, and then I'm going to tell you what I did. They're two completely different things. What I suggest is that you sit your parents down, and you say, hey, can I dye my hair? And if they, and like, make sure you know about the dye, research your dyes, okay? No matter what, I research my dyes. I really wish I knew which dye I used the first time still, but I don't remember because that color just came out so nice until my dad made that. I'll get to that in a second. Anyways, know what color you want to dye it. Me, I dye it black usually, but it keeps fading because, I don't know, just the box dyes I've been using are not good. By the way, L'Oreal Feria and Garnier, they both fade a lot on me. I don't know about other people, but those two fade so much on me. That's why I'm trying Ion tomorrow, because I hear it fades less from, like, looking into reviews. Anyways, what you need to do is sit your parents down and say, this is the color I want to dye my hair, this is the brand and everything I'm planning to use. I looked into reviews, it works well, da da da, and then if they ask where the money is coming from, try to have the money. Like, my parents say they pay for hair and makeup stuff. I've asked them for money for it in the past, and they're like, no. And I'll be like, I dyed my hair in September and it's December. No. They don't pay for things like they say they do. My mom tried saying a couple months ago that she usually pays for my dyes, and I just went to the store and buy it. I was like, no you don't. I go to the store with my money and I buy it. And she's like, what? I'm like, the last, 8 times I've dyed my hair. Yeah, see. I have been a blonde, I've been a brunette, I've been a redhead, and the color I've used the most is black. That is what I like. And then I've had various mixes of unnatural colors, but in the last couple months, my dad has decided that I am no longer allowed to use unnatural colors because he thinks it looks trashy. Now I'm working on getting him to stop that rule soon, because, well, it's kind of to me, it's a silly rule. To me, it's just hair, it'll grow back. My mom's biggest problem is she thinks it's damaging my hair, and actually she wanted me to use this thing called Herbitint. And I looked into some reviews, and I found that it has like a carcinogen and stuff like that, and her big reasoning was she didn't want the chemicals going on to my skin. And I showed her this review, and she's like, oh, never mind. And like, yeah, I win this one. Ha. And I know I sound a little bit cocky right now, I'm just in that kind of mood. I don't know. I'm in a blunt mood. Anyways, here's how I dyed my hair. So, first I got highlights from my great aunt, who lives in California, and she's a hairdresser. Well, they were blonde highlights, and my dad loves them. He wants me to be a blonde. Like, he'll never admit it, but he wants me to be a blonde cheerleader. And I don't know why he thinks this. I think it's because he thinks I'll get along with people in school more. He should know by now that that's just not going to happen. Anyways, he she did this for free, but the way she did them, my hair grows pretty quickly in the first place, and I had like inch-long roots within a month. And so, about a month later, it was my birthday, and I got money, and so I always wanted my hair blonde. Ever since I was like little, like 5, 6 years old, I was always like wanting my hair to be darker. And my parents, obviously when I was like 5 or 6, I was going up to my parents and being like, Mommy, can I dye my hair? And they were like, oh yeah, honey, go ahead. Actually, if I had asked them, they would have been like, no. And I'd been like, hmm. And then, anyway, I went to my local Publix and bought, I don't even remember which brand. I wish I did because it came out really nice. I bought a very dark colored black dye. While my dad comes home, and I had just finished dyeing my hair, and he comes home from a business trip, he is mad. He was mad, very mad. He does not like that type of stuff. So he called up my family friend who is a hairdresser, and she brought by a dye stripping thing, which, by the way, don't use that stuff. On me specifically, it just gave me a big spot in the back of my head where it was like not dyed anymore. And I really was very upset about that because like it wasn't that extremely noticeable, but it did leave a splotch because my dad did it. And so I had to go around with that, and finally I begged my parents, like, because this girl I knew who helped me do my hair would go around and be like, yeah, she has a spot. And he was like, and so I'm like, dude, you're gonna get me like made fun of. And at the time I cared a lot more. But I begged my parents and they took me to the hairdresser and she did my hair the color I wanted, not the color they wanted. Because I don't know, hairdressers tend to get where I'm coming from with the whole, its hair will grow back and stuff like that. Like, I don't plan to have kids, but if I have kids, I figure dyeing hair, clothes, stuff like that. They'll grow out of clothes. We'll get rid of clothes later on. Hair will grow out. Parents, if you're watching this, I don't see why you, like, I get, like, if your kid is being rebellious and bad and stuff, like, tell them, okay, if you, like, make a deal with them. Like, if you bring in these grapes, you can dye this much of your hair purple. Now, my parents won't even go for that, because they think it looks trashy. Which I think that, like, unusual colored hair looks really cool if you do it the right way. Like, I have my tips done, and I did it myself. You can see a video, actually. And I, spent a long time doing that. And I've done my hair a lot of different ways. I do my own hair now, actually. But, yeah, hairdressers, I was like, oh, yeah, I remember being your age. I was a lot like you. And, like, and that's actually like my backup plan. I want to be a hairdresser if like my original plan doesn't work out. Of course, my mom hates that because they think I'll end up being like poor or something, which I don't get why my family and so many people I know put this big stress on being rich. Pretty much what I need is to pay my bills and to be able to eat and live somewhere comfortably. Like, I just need to be able to support myself properly and I'll be good. I don't need to make 6 figures a year. And, so yeah, I don't see why people put such a, like, I have a TV in my room that I never use. My parents made this big deal about having TVs, and I know one girl in her family, like, her dad yelled at her saying, "Why aren't you recording this in HD? You're wasting my money." Like, you have HD. Why are you even caring? You're paying. To me, there's no real big difference between HD and regular. I just watch whichever comes up. And, anyway, let's see. So, if you're going to dye your hair, research everything, and then sit down with your parents and be like, hey, and even then, show your parents, like, this video maybe, like, I know like, if you want information about something, I have done a lot of different things with my hair. I can tell you things. I've done a lot of research on stuff that I haven't even done with my hair just because I am intrigued by it. I find it very interesting. So, if you want to dye your hair but your parents are like, no, then don't be afraid to, like, message me or something, or, like, comment, and I can always, like, give you information about stuff, because and also there is Google, like, you can look things up, so yeah, so, let's see, my natural color is pretty close to this, but my dad wants me to be a blonde so badly, like he said in the past, I like it when you have your blonde hair, and, like, that's not even my natural color. And so yeah, I actually, like, it hurts a lot when he says that, and he says it almost every time I dye my hair dark. And I've got I have an interesting thing going with my parents and the way I dress and, like, the way I do my hair and stuff. So yeah. Alright, this video's been going for a while. I hope I helped someone. I don't know, I probably rambled a lot because I didn't script this. I hope I'm also audible. Okay, bye.